What's up?
Welcome back. Well, I was gonna try to do something funny, but I don't think it's gonna be funny.
Welcome back to the failure at its finest hour. Don't you touch that dial.
Yeah.
The little podcast that could.
Do not touch that dial. Oh my god.
Lock in that dial and turn it up.
Failure at its finest hour, episode 44, now on the air. In
Take a
3,
big
in
handful
2,
of nuts.
in 1. Welcome on. What's up, guys? Welcome back.
Like an XM radio show.
Yeah. Should we just
Yo,
do
what's
that?
up? It's Sway in the morning.
Sway.
Just to fucking get the sound effects.
Oh my gosh.
What's up back on this Tuesday, March 21st?
Dude, that's
Fuck you guys.
that's the best part about radio stations. It's like down here, 97.9 GRD, straight Metallica for 4 hours crammed into your ass.
Well, we've done the Chris bit with the radio station he listens to every day. He has the Gaga Kesha. What say it, Chris?
Gaga, Kesha, Bieber, they cause ear cancer. 92.7. Good for your ears.
And
Is
then
that actually their radio ad?
Mm-hmm.
what?
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
so he said that before, like when I was with him, or not with him, but when we were like on this podcast, he said
Yeah.
that before, and I remember going to Manistee, and like on my way up, that fucking played, and I was like, no shot, that thing's actually real. And then what did we make fun of? They say that, and then they all of a sudden just start playing
Fucking Bob Seger. Melt your face off rock. And that's a Tom Petty song.
little too tall. Could use a few pounds.
Oh my god, on repeat. So let me actually, since I have the radio experience, let me give you guys
What are you talking about? I did the
what-
radio station in high school.
what happened.
But I was in the minors, dude. I never got called up like Tony did.
Yeah, me neither. I was a radio DJ for a while.
Oh yeah, Chris did it too. Forgot about that.
Chris is Metal Mayhem.
Chris.
That was your name?
Yeah.
Mine was
What was
Saints and
it?
Sinners
Actually, you know
Radio.
what? Let me bring this up. So you guys know that Radio Lab in Ontonagon, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Risenen, shout out. He has a live stream of that on Twitch 24/7.
Oh, he's got a video live stream?
Yes.
Kids in there picking their nose.
And you
eating
can
candy bars
hear
and
the
shit?
music while you watch like the stream. It's just like a different way that you can watch and listen to like the
Oh,
music.
dude.
Nice.
That's pretty
Kids
cool.
on
20
camera.
24/7.
Classy.
I will since
You
we're
think-
of course this is going to be the first shout out to the YouTube. Like I said, 24/7. I am going to screen share this and show you how creepy it is when of course it is 9:13 on a Sunday night when there's no one at the school.
Oh,
yet,
yeah. It's
It's
rolling.
still
It's rolling.
playing.
Oh,
He
that's
hangs a
creepy.
skeleton in there.
That
is the
radio lab
fucking
looks the same.
yeah.
Why is there
streaming for one viewer?
why is there plastic on the mic?
Why is there a
I don't
hand
know.
under the desk?
But
on the ground?
sometimes there
Dude,
is
the hair
somebody in
standing
there
up.
like
This-
like late at night.
The hair is standing up on the back of my neck.
Yeah, sometimes I watch this just to see if I can see that like chair move or something.
Yeah, and that's like a freaking hoarder closet, dude. It's just like there
Is the camera a Nintendo DS or something?
I know it's very bad. It's very bad quality. but-
dude. I wonder if
I was like, holy shit.
we should
Is-
hold on a second. Brain blast here, guys. We should see if Ken would let us cram ourselves in there for a live on air.
Well, I did it. I did it
Unlikely.
with like 5 other dudes during my
Oh yeah, you
radio
guys
lab.
did you guys have different camera angles though of all the people?
No,
or
no. Not
But you
camera
should
angles.
we should see if we can do a failure at its finest episode on the radio, and then
Well, we'd
like
have
in
to
Ontonagon.
it'd have to be PG, obviously.
I got a couple things I'd say on the air.
Yeah, I was gonna say. you know
What's the Federal Communications, the FCC?
Yeah. Yeah.
calling up. What the hell?
Yep. Although that radio station doesn't go past Pat's Foods in Ontonagon.
That's
Yeah.
true.
What channel is it? AM
80,
3700?
it's like 88,
Yeah,
88, 88.5.
88.5.
10 watts. It's 10 watts. That literally probably gets to like not even like Farley's parents' house.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But I was gonna talk about radio and just how shitty it is, because when you have somebody in the booth, I'm talking about like a radio station, everyone always, I mean, now, of course, I've been in the business. I understand that, like, why you hear the same fucking songs over and over and over again. It's just like when you don't have that guy that's in the actual studio, because the station I worked at, you had a guy do the morning show, like, 6 to 10.
And he'd
And then-
program all the songs that
And
were
he
to be
programmed
played.
and threw in all the songs that he wanted. Of course, it had to be appropriate, and it had to kind of follow like the, you build up, you start the hour soft, and then you kind of go harder at the end, because it was a rock station. But then from noon to 3, there was nothing, and it was just satellite. And the satellite logs, I would pull them up, because sometimes you'd have to just see what songs they play during that hour, so you don't play them in your next hour if you're coming on at 3, which I did 3 to 6. The satellite log is just the same fucking songs over and over again.
Yeah.
And I was like, how is this, like, how do radio stations do that when they have satellite? Because obviously in a bigger station like GRD, I'm sure they have guys from 6 a.m. until, midnight or whatever,
Yep.
because you're in a bigger city. But like in Houghton, it was just like satellite would play like probably 12 hours during the day, and it would be the same fucking songs. You look at that
Yep.
list, and it was like they just played that an hour ago.
Don't stop believing.
So why would they program to play an hour later? But it's like that's what the people want to hear. But
Yep.
then you ask the people, and they're like, that fucking shit sucks.
Yeah.
So when I'd play 3 to 6, I'd play all the different kinds of, I'd play ELO, and I'd play, Led Zeppelin, and like all these like good mixture of bands
Getting the
that
lead out.
wouldn't be on the satellite.
And not just like the all the hits, like some
Right,
of the
right.
more obscure stuff.
Yes, and people would like call in every once in a while. There was one guy that was just like, "You're doing a great job," and he'd always request something that I didn't have, and every day be like, "Don't have it." I think he was a little slow, but every day he'd request the same song, and I'd be like, "Oh, all right, I'll try to find it for you." And
How don't you have?
I would never play it. I don't know, just our system. We didn't have very many songs, to be honest. But
So you couldn't just like go on. It's not like you can't like look every song up.
No, I
costs
could-
money to run.
I could, but it was just having to go to YouTube, try to make sure if I didn't know the song, I didn't make sure that there's no swears in it, look up the clean version. It was just too much going on. So I was just like, if I don't have it, I'm not going to play it. And the guy was too nice. I couldn't tell him, but he didn't get the memo. Every day, he just never hears a song, and he still calls every day. So that's why I think he might have been,
teeing it up.
he was maybe a little slow, but I don't know. But what was I gonna start with? Oh, so I just wanted to shout out. I wanted to let everybody know that listens on Spotify that if you do go on Spotify and listen to us, at the bottom of the episode, you'll see like a Q&A, and it'll just say, "What do you think about this episode?" This is default. We didn't set this, so if you see it and you're just like, "Oh, that's a really dumb question," I just want to shout out. If you do have a suggestion or anything, we always talk about engaging with the listener. If you see this, you can write whatever you want, and it's very easy. If you have a Spotify account, you listen to us on Spotify, you'll see it. Just scroll down from our episode and you'll see it there. I do want to give a shout out, because we always talk about how we wish we had engagement. Well, we're starting to get it. The last couple of weeks, we've been getting it, and I do appreciate the people that have been reaching out. But Garrett B on Spotify reached out on the Eye-Watering Weekends episode. I just wanted to shout him out. And he said he loves the podcast, just good Michigan guys with great humor. A couple other people have reached out to me personally, so we do appreciate the engagement there, and want to thanks. But just wanted to give the option, because I always, of course, saw that it gives us the, what do you think about this episode? That was default. We didn't put that up, but if you do have something to say, if you have a suggestion, tell us we suck. That's always an option, because no one's on Twitter. We always talk about it.
Maybe we do a failure roast in like a couple months, and we have people, the YouTube, even friends that listen to it, viewers of the YouTube, as well as Spotify listeners or whatever app you get it on, and they send in comments and roast us. Like, oh, they always fucking talking about shitting, or this, just pick out whatever, and they just roast us, and we read those roasts and react to
That
them.
would be great.
Wouldn't that be
fucking
funny?
Awesome. That would be great.
we should set that for some date in the future. It sucks though, because if nobody responds, then we don't have any good roasts.
Yeah, I do not want to get my feelings hurt.
That, and I want to also, Aaron, you kind of brought up the, like, didn't you come up with a great like merch giveaway idea or some type of like?
Yeah, the thing was that we for Redneck Kino.
That's
I
what
think it was Redneck Kino.
Yes.
You do Redneck Kino,
Yes.
and then we take a listener that comes out of the woodwork and says, "Hey, I love the podcast. I listen. Put me in for this week for Redneck Kino. Put me in at this number," and then we do that. And if their number happens on Redneck Kino, then we send.
That's
them
a great
free-
idea. And again, that's
send them a free
Spotify. What do you
That's
think
a
about
good
this
gamble.
episode? That would be a great thing to put in that section when you listen
Yeah.
to us and scroll at the bottom of Spotify. We do have updates on the logo that is being made. Of course, when it's official, we'll shout out the creator. But once that is done, which could be very soon, I think that's when we start to make some gear for us four, and then maybe some extras. And this is where listener engagement kind of comes in, because if we think that you've been, a very loyal and great listener,
Yeah.
maybe, just maybe, you could get a fresh Failure at its Finest Hour t-shirt or a hat or socks or a fleshlight. It doesn't matter.
Fleshlights.
Did you say
we're
a
doing the
fleshlight?
fleshlights. We're running a line of fleshlights for our first merch.
Oh my gosh!
Only used a few times. All right.
Lightly used.
Tested by the guys. Yikes!
I
So
washed it in the fucking
Low
dishwasher
miles.
3 times before I put it in the mail.
Let's change directions here. Let's get a little personal. Any time fleshlights in the group here?
All right.
No, never, never.
No,
Why-
Chris?
Look at Chris's.
Would you guys? Sorry.
Any fleshlight users in the past,
Oh yeah, 100%.
present? I was
Really?
gonna say
Yeah.
I got one.
Really?
You got one right
Yeah,
now?
not right now. No, I don't have it anymore.
Oh.
But
Hmm,
I just test
Let's
the
see.
waters.
weird.
Yeah.
My wife goes, this is why people we stop listening at this point.
Are you serious? You just said that to you now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
bought it
I-
off some guy in an alleyway.
You
And
got yours? Yeah.
Dude.
Nice.
no, I threw it away though. I think I realized I was like, you know what?
Is yours the dog one or the cat
It's
one?
time to.
Tom?
No, I actually have the. You guys ever see that video of the guy with the collection? He's got like the mater from Cars.
Shut up.
There's like Dory from Finding Nemo.
All right.
Okay, well,
On to our next topic: national holidays.
national holidays. National holidays.
I love how people are
On
just
the-
if anybody watches the YouTube is just watching us all squirm.
Shout out to the fucking YouTube. National holidays for
Such a-
today. There's 50 of them.
All
I don't
right.
know what the fuck is wrong with March 21st, but
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start with the biggest one that happened this week. Again, this is you'll be listening to this on Tuesday if you are a first day listener, or release day listener. Monday, as Aaron pointed out offline before the podcast, first day of spring, boys. First day of spring.
Woo. UP's,
So-
UP won't see a 70-degree day until August.
Mhm.
No, we'll see a 70-degree day next week, and then we'll get a snowstorm,
On
week
4th
after.
of July.
and then we'll
Yeah.
get
Oh
No, first day of spring though, yeah, Monday. The only thing I can say is just like, it's getting lighter out, or it's staying lighter out longer.
Oh, it's
So,
been
like-
so nice, dude.
That's all I got to say.
yeah.
I
that
think
day-
my body finally adjusted to that time change.
I'm a little sluggish
Yeah.
still today.
I'm still, yeah.
I'm still feeling it.
Pretty
Still,
tough.
still
I
feeling
have
it.
a hard time falling asleep when
I'm getting
Dude.
there. I'm so
Yeah.
close though.
I can't wait till
drink 18
Christmas
beers.
this year, and we're gonna be like, oh shit, man, there's still this daylight savings. Really?
Episode fucking 89. We're gonna be like, God damn. Fucking
Or we're gonna
daylight
forget.
saving.
Get
We're
over
gonna
this
forget,
daylight
and someone's
savings.
gonna bring it up. Someone's gonna bring it up like 30 episodes later, and we're
And
all
then next year when it's gone, we're just gonna keep saying,
Yeah,
"Man,
yeah.
we still did that
the
shit."
last time it changes, it's still gonna be
Mm.
fucking 3 years later. God damn, from that fucking that March 12th of 2023.
as if it
still
was
kicking my ass.
as if it was like as bad as like the pandemic or something. Ah, man, remember that?
The end
Ah,
of
I
the
still,
end
I
of the
still am not
simulation.
right.
I will say none of us made the Snapchat yet of the light from like the sun still being out at like 7 o'clock. Every year, I feel like that's another thing when we're like, the video of us like looking around and it's still light out and has the time like 7:30 and it's like, oh my God,
It's true.
what is this?
What's
But
it like to go home from work and actually see a sunset on your back porch before you get home?
It is nice though. It is very nice. And something that I should have brought up a while ago when I first saw it. But speaking of sunsets on a porch, just reminded me of like summer and like a nice warm fucking night. Holy shit, I'm so excited. I never told you guys that like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Actually, I think it was in January. I saw a post, this is Michigan related, Great Lakes. Someone had a post that said it was February 12th. Remember, it was an M Live, I think. Someone posted that on February 12th this year, the Great Lakes had only 6%. 6% of the Great Lakes was ice covered.
Only 6%?
And on average, usually at that time of the year, it's in the 40s.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, now of course it's March, 21st. Winter is, last leg, like we always make jokes of the UP, like, well, we're gonna get a snowstorm in May and all this shit. But now that we're here in March, I want to say that this winter wasn't that bad. But it really wasn't terrible. We only had like 3 like winter storms, I think, and just like occasional snow every once in a while. Wasn't terribly cold. You have that stretch in January, but yeah, 6% on February 12th. 6% was
It's like
covered
barely anything.
on the Great Lakes.
That was this year.
That was this year on
Did you see
February
this?
12th.
Did you see the stat from last year?
No, but
Mm.
it said the average was like it was
40.
it was the lowest percentage in like since like the 70s.
Yeah. I like it when it's that cold because then like Lake Michigan freezes over and it doesn't, that lake effect can't happen as well because there's no water to be sucked up by that storm, which is cool. But we only had, I think we had what I would call 6 major snow events down here where it was like we'd get a storm, be like 1.5 feet, and then it would warm up. All of it would melt. And then we get another storm like another 1.5 weeks or 2 weeks later. It wasn't like consistent everyday snow down here, which was nice. And then the winters are more mild down here, and that biting cold up there is terrible. Where it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be 20 below tomorrow. Start your car last week to go to work this week on Monday. It's like, for fuck's sake, like it's just terrible.
Start your car yesterday.
Yeah, just leave your car running all night. Just keep her warm. But yeah, it's wild. I can't believe, and it's so funny that we're talking about the weather, like trying to like.
Dude, I hate it.
It's being at like coming home and being at the bar, and all the same people are wearing the same clothes in the same bar stool, talking about the same.
Wind cuts right through you.
It's not the heat that gets you; it's the humidity.
Chris, how was a little update on Winter Storm Sage that we talked about last week? How was it like in Manistee?
For what?
Did you not have the
None of
storm
it.
at all?
On Saturday or Friday, like they said?
It was Thursday through Saturday was the storm.
We didn't have anything. Nothing.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, we probably got like, they were calling for 2 feet. It was 18 to 24 inches
It's so crazy.
on Thursday morning or Wednesday night, and Marquette only got like 6 inches. And I think yesterday was the worst day, but it was just windy, and that was it. So if you're listening and you're excited about the update of Winter Storm Sage, it was a
bit of a letdown.
A little of a letdown.
Yeah. There's that band like up through Rockland and Mass and shit, and like Houghton and Duncan, Toivola.
Yeah, the high
Bergland,
ground.
Bessemer, they always get a ton of snow, it seems.
And I will say the stretch in the Marquette area is obviously like Ishpeming and Nagani always seems to get a lot, but the worst stretch by far in this area is M28 by like
train
between Marquette and Munising. Yeah, and I have a picture, shout out to the YouTube. It's not going to look much to you guys, but this is the one on the highway from I don't know, when was that? The 18th? That was from Saturday.
Yep.
Oh, that's like
pretty gnarly.
That's like the static cam that they just leave out there constantly.
Yeah, yep. Like the weather.
There's a guy hanging onto the pole like sideways.
Jeez.
But they shut it down. That's a normal thing. But that stretch is always really bad. So I think that was like the worst in the area. I don't even think that like Nagani or Ishmael got hit that hard, but they closed 28
I
down
saw,
for
yeah,
a
I
little
saw
bit.
they were supposed to get like 18 to 24 inches.
And it was nothing.
The coolest thing I heard about this winter in terms of storms was like a late snowstorm that happened about a month ago in like Kearney, and people said that there was lightning during the blizzard.
I've heard of that thunder snow.
Thunder snow, yeah.
Yeah, like big purple bolts cutting through the snow. Freaking
Oh,
nuts.
I've seen it once in my lifetime. I've seen that once, and I think it was.
This is weird because I thought lightning happened like from static electricity from heat. I thought it had to be really warm for lightning to happen.
I couldn't recite to you the
I wouldn't
science.
be able to know.
Yeah,
You
you're
gotta
talking
call my dad.
here, buddy.
Should get your dad on the phone.
Did
yeah,
I?
well, you know, when the
They phone him in.
um,
He would explain it and be like, "Listen, you fucking idiot! I told you this 1,000 times."
is that how he talks to you?
Yes. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Still, I'm a grown ass man.
Are you serious?
Yeah, the other day, he was like, "Have you made corned beef hash before?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Here's how you make it." I'm like, "Whatever." He's like, "Look at me." I'm like, chop it up real fine.
So I kind of teased this in the beginning, but I saw an article. I don't know where the fuck I found this, but it's the Kalkaska Chronicle, Northern Michigan's #1 news source. It's a satire, joking news site, but I saw a post that really caught my eye. And again, I don't know how the fuck I found this website, but this was posted in May 19 of 2022. So this was from last year, but I just have to bring it up because I saw it a couple days ago. The article is titled "Muskegon Voted Biggest Shithole in Michigan." An upset win over Sault Ste. Marie.
An upset win? That was my same reaction the first time you said
this
it.
is
Pre-meeting.
KalkaskaChronicle.com. In an astounding win for Michigan's Upper Peninsula, Gallup's annual Biggest Shithole in Michigan poll saw Michiganders appear to have changed their minds about which part of the state they wish had stayed in Native American hands.
Oh my gosh.
Reigning Biggest Shithole in Michigan champ and meth capital of the Great Lakes region, Sault Ste. Marie, was dethroned only by a razor-thin margin, as polled Michiganders weighed whether they'd rather live in a post-industrial Midwestern town riddled with crime and devoid of all hope, or the UP. With 14.4% of respondents indicating that if given the choice, they would live in Sault Ste. Marie, and only 13.8% indicating they'd choose Muskegon, a record 71.8% of respondents indicated that they would opt to kill themselves before moving to their town,
Gosh.
beating out the previous record set in 2021 between Sault Ste. Marie and Jackson.
Oh my gosh. Heroin high, dude.
Despite losing the runoff poll to Michigan's newest flagship shithole, local leaders in Sault Ste. Marie appear to show every intention of reclaiming the title. However, as perennial dark horse of the biggest shithole in Michigan, Howell continues to decrease its share of the vote year over year.
Oh my gosh.
The run-up to 2023's poll is shaping up to be the most competitive since Detroit beat out Grand Rapids and Jackson in the 1990 Battle of the Heavyweights.
Dude, that's good writing there. That's great.
Well said.
I think the first time I was in Muskegon was I was at Ferris, and I went over to Muskegon for a Hot Mulligan show, and it was in it was in just like this, like, it looked like a haunted house. Like, it looked comically like run down. It was like, no, this isn't it. And there's all these cars and all these people in Green Day t-shirts getting out of the cars and shit. And I was like, all right, this is it. And I don't remember, Tony, I don't think you were down here yet. I don't remember who I went with.
No, I don't.
But anyways, I went in there, and it's all these like abandoned like warehouses around here, and then there's just a house nestled in the middle of all of them. And like I said, it looked like a haunted house. Like, it looked like the Disney's Haunted Mansion or some shit. And that was like my first, and I remember it being like pretty sketchy. And there are great parts of Muskegon too. But I think for me, one of the biggest like indicators of a shithole is or when I went to Saginaw for the first time. Saginaw is weird because you drive like there's no like real highway to it. It's like kind of a highway, at least coming from GR, and your like highway turns into like all these just houses. And the first thing I saw when I got into Saginaw proper was a dead pit bull on the side of the street.
Oh my god!
And I was like, this is a I could raise kids here for sure.
Yeah.
It was just, I mean,
I want to
it
know
was
what
scary.
took the pit bull out, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
probably a bad fight.
But and then you get downtown, and it's just like there's all these old businesses, but no like new business, like open, like fresh paint on anything. I mean, there's a couple, but they don't stay open late. They close at like 4, and then everybody just kind of gets out of downtown. So, but that was 3-4 years ago that I was there, so can't speak to it now. But every time I go to Saginaw, I'm like, oh boy, what am I going to see now? After seeing a dead pit bull, like driving a work van in, like looking around, I'm like, I don't really know about this place.
I think one of the first things that is just gonna tell you that it's probably not a very good fucking town is if there's not a normal traffic light, but if it's like this single like light, the single stop light,
Yeah.
If you got one of them fuckers in your town, it's probably a very good town.
Just flashing yellow.
Like, yeah.
I was gonna ask if Sault Ste. Marie was not on the table, what UP town do you think claims the biggest shithole?
Shoot, that's a good question, brother. There's a lot of fucking shithole towns in the UP. I mean,
I know Chris has a grudge with Newberry.
I don't. I was
the best fucking.
You could start from west to east or east to west, but
yeah, let's maybe do like everybody's top 3.
Okay,
dude.
Everybody's top 3.
Okay,
I'm gonna start on the west end, and I'm not gonna go in order because obviously this is on the fly improv.
Yep, that's fine.
In the top 3, I for sure am gonna put Ironwood. Not only is it meth infested, but there's nothing in Ironwood.
Yeah,
like there's nothing.
There's a lot, but there's a lot of depth of roster, but they're not very good players.
Right.
It's just like they had a fucking Kmart there. They got the Munch, which is good, but that's like damn near in Hurley. That's like
that's Hurley.
So, that's actually in Hurley proper. I think. It's like across the street from Ironwood, Michigan.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about Bessemer. I'm not including Bessemer, and I'm just talking like just Ironwood. Like Ironwood has to be the worst.
Man.
I mean, they get the most snow. Yep. They have to get the most snow. Not in the whole UP, but probably top 5.
Big snow country right there.
They have a Kmart, but it is meth infested. I mean, that's probably one of the worst towns.
Wait,
in
they
the UP.
still have a Kmart?
I don't know if they still do. But
no, I was joking. That's long.
They did have one though. They did.
It's probably a Pomida now.
It's got like you drive into Ironwood. It's got like not even 90s yellow haze the whole town.
And on top of it,
bought out by Shopco.
I mean, they have a Walmart. That's the thing. But like their fast food is like Subway and Burger King, I think, and that's it. Like for a bigger like town, I feel like they should have more variety of.
They got a McDonald's.
There's a Don's there.
There's a Don's.
There's a Don's.
No Taco Bell, which is brutal.
Oh, that is tough. You can't.
There's a lot of Scudzos in Ironwood too.
Yes, there is, dude. There is.
So Hunyakville.
So if I'm making my way then to the west, I obviously I can't, some people would be like, oh, Ontonagon, but you can't put Ontonagon in the top 3. There's no way.
You better not.
You can't go to the Keweenaw, I don't think. Calumet, I think, is very overrated. I wouldn't say it's the biggest shithole, but I think with like the whole history thing, I'm not a big history guy, but like Calumet, I feel like is very overrated for the whole. But like it's cool history with like the mining and stuff. But as far as like it being an attraction, I don't think so.
Mostly just catalytic converters and scrap metal up there now.
Yeah, pretty much. I would honestly probably toss in, since having worked there for about 6 or 7 months, probably make my way west. I would probably put Baraga in like the Lance area, maybe in that top 3.
I was just about to say that was going to be in my top 3.
Because speaking of not having anything, I mean, of course, Houghton's only 20 miles away, but as far as like they have a Burger King. That one time we went on a family trip, we were going through Baraga. They ran out of patties.
Glass sandwich.
We've read on the podcast we've read on the podcast the potholes they have in their parking lot and their drive-through.
Oh, those fucking potholes.
And speaking
Dude,
of drugs,
I should get on Yelp and look at the Yelp reviews of the Burger King in in
The
Lawrence.
chum
dude, we
bucket.
did that. We did that on the podcast.
I think we did that.
Did we do that
40
already?
Yeah,
episodes
so that's
ago.
we were talking about the potholes. Everyone was complaining about the potholes. Someone was
Oh,
like, I had to get a, my car was considered totaled after I got a Whopper Junior. But
Got a Whopper Jr. in a new truck.
I watched my dad have a full blown temper tantrum at that Burger King. Just get on my dad again. Remember they
Came
had
on
those
my
like,
corn.
the mini burgers they did, the 6-pack of mini burgers.
Oh,
no, I don't think I
I
don't
do.
remember that.
Yeah,
They
they
done
were
some
like
weird
teeny
shit.
tiny sliders.
Oh
And
my
it took
god.
like 15 minutes for them to come, and he was just like, I can't fucking believe these little fucking burgers.
So Tony, you're going Ironwood.
Ironwood Baraga.
Baraga. So that's kind of, west,
Yeah.
a little bit central, a little kind of, not really, but
Lawrence or
I
Baraga?
I think we could maybe combined them. I mean, I don't know. They're both
I
terrible.
would say Lawrence. I would say Lawrence, just personally.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Lots
I
can
will
take an
say-
apostrophe and shove it up their ass.
Since we're here, I do want to shout out the Baraga girls basketball team. They did make it to the state championship game for Division 4 in Michigan. Maybe if you're listening and you're not from the UP, but somehow maybe have Valley Sports and watched high school girls basketball this past weekend, you may have saw Baraga, and that's the team we're talking about.
Yeah,
Another-
congratulations.
Another side note, they did lose, but they were winning. They were up by 7, I think, at halftime, and then they
Yeah,
big
congrats.
yikes in the second
Sorry,
half.
you
But
gotta go back to that.
they had a great season.
Before we get off of Baraga, why does it seem like every sports team in that area has like 20-year-olds on it? You
I
ever
don't-
notice that? Like when we played them in football, there's like fucking
They
dudes
did-
with mustaches.
They looked very old. Yes,
In
I will
8th
say.
grade football.
Yeah, like middle school. Like I know
Something
what you're
in the-
talking about.
Yeah, go
Some
pick
in
up
the
my
water.
kid, coach.
I Oh my gosh, you're right. You're right. I know what you're talking about, and they did seem very old.
Yeah.
Away with Crystal Falls.
Oh,
Yeah, I think they're born with beards.
Yeah.
Titans.
I think then if I move, I haven't really experienced much in like the eastern end of the UP, but I wouldn't even consider this a town. I feel like it's not fair to put these guys in this top 3, but I gotta go Engadine, dude. I gotta go Engadine.
That was in my
Dude.
brain.
Like
was
I said,
somebody's
I
gonna mention
can't.
that.
It's so hard to put them in there because they're so small, and it's like
Yeah.
they're setting up for failure. Like they're not getting set up for success. It's just we've talked about the gas station
Cowboy
there,
town, dude.
and it's just like the Amish are wild.
The dirty bull.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna leave it there because I'm not very familiar with the East End. Like, I mean,
never mind.
I could say Newberry just because like I've driven through there a couple times, and it does seem like like for football and stuff, or like going on trips, you take the freeway up down from Sault Ste. Marie. But I gotta go Engadine. I don't know, but it's not fair. I should say that.
Respect.
So mine would be 100% Lawrenceburg area. That's like the third one. Number 2 is fucking dude. I'm sorry. I know it's like a little bit bigger of a city, but Escanaba is fucking greasy, dude.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, it smells like
Yes.
shit too. Oh my
Number-
god.
Number
That mill.
fucking 1. This is like easy for me. Fucking Ki Sawyer, dude.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
I thought Tony was gonna go there, but I didn't
Oh
want to
my
put it in
I
his
have
brain.
stories from that fucking joint, dude. Oh my
The
god.
prison town.
That's like Chernobyl, dude.
Dude,
I'm
if
not
anyone lives
fucking
there,
kidding.
dude, for anyone that lives there, they should get fucking hazardous duty pay. Just fucking
Yeah.
The post officers, the postmasters wearing a fucking gas mask walking around town delivering mail.
It's like steampunk era.
Everyone's walking around in fucking
Fucking
armor.
Mad Max, dude. I'm not kidding. Dude, it's sketchy as fuck, dude.
The gas station clerks
Wow.
have machetes on their hips.
I work
Dude,
for a
Straight
power.
up, like
It's so bad. It's
I haven't
so
been
bad.
there. in I mean, fuck, it's been over 10 years.
So for
Yeah,
the
no.
listener, Ki Sawyer is where the airport in Marquette is, but it used to be a base for
Air Force Base, yeah.
the Air Force, and all of the Air Force guys that would stay there there's big apartment complexes everywhere, like around. I'm not kidding.
Barracks
It looks
and
like
shit, yeah.
Chernobyl now. But it of course the Air Force Base is no longer in session, and these people now are living in these apartments, and it's so run down and so disgusting. I worked for a power company like 5 years ago. I read meters at a power company,
Oh,
and I'd have to go out there to read people's meters. And of course, when you get to a house that looks like there's no one there and there's probably not any power, you like go on to the next. But I was getting like a thing on my device that was like, no, like these people like have power, like you need to go check their meter. And I'm not kidding, like busted windows, like it was an apartment like on the bottom floor, busted windows, like
Rando.
boarded up shit, thought it was abandoned. So I like
Mm.
went out and skipped it, and like the guy was like, no, that's a real, you got to check their meter. And I'd go up to these fucking places, and sometimes they'd sit out like on the porch, and they were just like messed out like crazy. Like they'd see me and they'd go and they'd run inside like their house. All these places that I'd read meters, it was just like busted down, like bricks missing in the fucking, it looked like it was about to collapse. And there's just people living in these apartments. And
I'll
there's
suck your
kids,
dick, man.
there's kids running around, like, yeah, like I saw like an 8-year-old wearing diapers just running around like in a diaper. And it was like mom, like pregnant chicks smoking on the porch, and
Oh,
That's
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
it was
That's
so
fun.
it was so bad. It was terrible. And every time I had that route, because you do it like once a month, I'd get it and I'd be like, God fucking damn it. Like, I hate going here. And I would, every time I got that route, I was just like, should I call in sick? Should I call in sick?
Mm.
'Cause it was
You're on the
scary. It was
job.
fucking scary. And
Aaron,
that's,
could you imagine doing like utility work in those houses,
oh
like
my God.
appliance work or running an IW wire through their house and shit? Oh God, I'd hate to be a phone guy out there.
Oh,
That was a fucking fantastic pull, Dylan. Oh my
Nice,
God.
yeah.
K.I. Sawyer. Jesus.
Yeah, like I said, like Escanaba has like a lot of stuff you can do, but it's just I don't know, man.
Dude, if
Something about it
I
just
wanna, I'll have to go next then, because my number one is Escanaba, is the grossest fucking town in the
did
UP.
Dylan hold on? Did Dylan get through 3?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What
That's
was it?
it.
Escanaba.
My number three was the Berga launch area. Number 2, Escanaba. Number 1, Kaisor.
Dude,
No.
any given moment you can go into the Burger King in Escanaba and there's some fucking bum rifling through his bags. It's like there is a whole like side of Escanaba that you guys don't even know about. It's like there's this inner block on the south side where it's just houses on top of houses. Like, and there's tons of back alleys, and like there's houses that share the same address, and there's houses behind them before the
Okay.
alley,
Weird.
and they're just like, oh dude.
Was
It's
it
like
a mining? Was it a mining town or like
I
a
have no idea. I think there was,
logging
like,
settlement or something?
the
No.
mill was the industry maybe there that made it go
Oh,
so
they had a
big.
mill. They had a mill there. Or you're saying the mill in
There's a
Mastique?
mill. There's in Escanaba.
Oh, I didn't know there's a paper mill.
Yeah.
That's why it smells like shit
Gladstone.
all the time.
We love
Yeah.
making paper up in the UP. At least we used to.
It
until they
smells
took
like
our jobs.
shit in Escanaba. Oh
Dude,
my
it's
God.
so bad. You cross the bridge in Gladstone and you
Yeah.
just smell eggs for the next 4
It's
miles.
so true.
And not the good
Oh my
eggs, not the
God.
pickled eggs.
Yeah.
So Escanaba.
Disgusting. Grossest town in the honestly, I think it could be the biggest shithole in the UP over the Sioux. 100%. Secondly, would have to definitely, well, I don't know. I'm kind of over Newberry. It's not that bad after working in Escanaba for so long.
Mm.
So I have to go with Barriga's number 2. That's a
Yeah.
nasty ass town.
Yes.
And then shit. Probably the Sioux.
Yeah.
Sioux is my number 3.
I've never been to Sault Ste. Marie, so I don't even know.
Oh, it's
I'm-
bad.
Yeah.
It's very
Highest
bad.
suicide rate.
Yeah, if they didn't have the locks there,
Yeah.
I think everyone might just off themselves. I mean,
Really.
it oh my gosh, because the locks obviously bring in a lot of tourism and a lot of money in Sault Ste. Marie.
We got Lake
but-
Superior State too.
and they
Yeah.
have Lake Superior State. That is very true. But
Yes.
Oh shit.
and Canada's right there, so it's like that's cool.
Because people
Mhm.
go up there to drink when they're
It's-
19.
It's just oh my gosh. I have a cousin that lives there, and my uncle tells me all the time. My uncle Johnny, actually, his daughter lives in Sault Ste. Marie,
Oh,
and
really?
he tells me stories like just like of the drugs and like the
Yeah.
meth and the heroin. It's so bad. It's so
I guess
bad.
I forgot Kinross too. Kinross is a really, really bad town.
Never
Where's
been
that
there.
at?
That's like between Pickford and Gatesville and the
I
Sioux.
was gonna say because you cover so much that we've
Yeah.
probably never been on the
Kinross,
East End.
so Kinchlow, Kinross area, there's a prison out there. And it's such a big prison, it's in a high max area. So like people's families will move to Kinross because their dad's in prison.
Damn.
So there's a lot of families
Oh
that
boy.
are related to criminals that live around that area. So
That
it's a
just
pretty,
reminds me, dude. Berga has that fucking maximum security prison too. I totally forgot about that.
yeah. So that's where you get a lot of those fucking derelicts from.
I think a good honorable mention for me, and it's almost claimed by Wisconsin, but Menominee.
Oh,
I think Menominee
Yeah.
might be up there too.
Oh yeah.
definitely.
Smells like
It's
shit.
bad.
Drugs.
Biggest meth problem in like
Are you
all of
sure
the
Menominee
UP, I
not
believe.
Wisconsin?
What's that?
I thought Menominee was in Wisconsin.
No, Marinette is.
Marinette.
It's like
Marinara.
Gladstone, Escanaba, like
Oh,
very
yeah.
close, just like a bridge
I got 'em
away.
mixed up. My bad.
But
What do you got, Aaron?
I'm gonna
he's
start
digging
off.
right now. He's digging.
I'm gonna start off west. I'm gonna start off West End. And I'm gonna go Wakefield.
Yeah.
The mistake by the lake, dude.
That is, dude. That is very good.
The side by side Family Dollar and Dollar General, dude, which Ontonagon also essentially has. But yeah, the mistake by the lake. Ever since I heard that, and I knew folks from because I went to Go Gibbet Community College where you can smoke in class, and there was a lot of people from Wakefield. I was like, what the fuck is going on over there? It's got-
Only
like,
night class
that
college.
school on the lake that's like literally still has kids in it. I'm like, where in the well, I think they shut it down now. Now they go to like Marinesco or whatever. But like that school was like literally just like you could watch
It was an
bricks
old fucking school.
as you were
Yeah.
driving by. You could watch bricks fall off the top of the roof, and it was just like
Just a whole window falls.
yeah, and it's just like shitty, like homemade glass. Like they got a bunch of school kids. Like every time a window would break, they get the first grade class together to melt down glass. Like you got fucking steel worker kids in there, just anvils and shit. That is such a dump. It's
Anvils and shit.
unbelievable. Sunday Lake, but they do have this what is it? The Sunday Lake
Sunday
Market.
Lake Market, dude. Shout
yeah,
out to that place.
the meat
Yeah.
there, I guess.
Killer
is
butcher,
incredible.
Killer butcher.
One of the best
Good
butchers in the UP.
good holiday on the other side of once you get kind of past
Yeah,
it. There's
yep.
a holiday
Past
there.
the Christ.
That's a good
past the
holiday.
Christ, yep.
So that's I won't put them in any order. My next one, which I'm surprised Chris didn't mention, is fucking Germ Fast, dude.
Oh, come on, man. No dog on the Jer town.
Germ Fast is such a dive. There's like an antique shop next to a pot shop, next to like a bed and breakfast,
Next to an antique shop. There's like
next to
five
an antique shop. No post office.
That's
You got-
Blaney Park. You think of Blaney Park.
Well, north of Blaney Park on 77 when you get up
Yeah,
north, and
77
there's that
north.
shitty little town.
Germ Fast. There's a city hall. There's a fucking post office there.
And then my last one, I would have to say, for I got a lot of reasons. Is Saint Ignace.
Saint
Oh,
Ignorance.
you know what? That's
Saint Ignace is. I talked to a lot of people, and they're like, oh, where you're from? Oh, I'm from the UP. Oh shit, I've been up there. Yeah, where you been? Saint Ignace. I was like,
So there's
That's the-
two schools of thought.
that's
Like
the
it's not a
equivalent of-
shit town, but it's like it kind of
It's-
grinds our gears because of what you're talking about.
it's
Like
like
it's not shitty. Like it's not a shitty shithole town,
no,
but it's just it's very like
it's just a pocket of a lot of businesses and a lot of gas stations, and none of them really do anything. They are just there because by the time, if you travel from Ontonagon eastbound, by the time you get to St. Ignace, you're out of gas, you're hungry, you're bewildered, you're exhausted, and so
Yeah.
there's
Burning
gas stations,
swamp
there's hotels, and then when you get, I feel like St. Ignace is like a laundromat that is like fronting like a drug business, because you got to look at like from the Lower Peninsula native perspective. They get up into St. Ignace like, wow, look at all this, it's just like downstate. and then they
There's
get to like
pasty shops everywhere.
then they get to like Epiphet, then they get to Brevoort Lake,
River.
they get to Cut River, they get to
Mhm.
Novenway, and they're starting to like, oh, okay, it's a little bit woodsy up here.
Oh,
Then
and then
they
they
get
go
even-
through Engadine and they're like,
then they-
holy fuck.
Yeah,
Cool
and then
city and their
and then they
fucking
hit the
teeth are
Sini
gone.
stretch, and they're like, we in Kansas no more.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the people that tell me, even my own girlfriend, she went up there like, oh yeah, we went to the UP. They eventually made their way to Munising and to Pictured Rocks and all that shit. But like other people are like, oh yeah, we just went up for a weekend to St. Ignace, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing in
Yeah,
St.
it's
Ignace?
so true.
What the fuck are you doing? You're staying at the shitty Holiday Inn or the Country Inn and Suites. Sorry, you're eating at the fucking greasy Big Boy.
Mm.
You're getting gas at the Holiday, and you're taking
Bob's
a picture
Big
of the
Boy.
bridge from that one lookout.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And people are like, oh yeah, I had such a great
75
time.
cents to look through the shitty binoculars, and it's like foggy on the like foggy lenses on it. You're like,
I will
Yeah.
ask, Aaron, have you ever been downtown St. Ignace?
Downtown St. Ignace.
So, like, you know, like when you go through like the gas station stuff, like that's really not St. Ignace. Like if you were to go straight
Yep,
instead of turning
instead.
right to go to the bridge, I will say St. Ignace has a pretty nice downtown. It's like right on the lake, but
That's
you're
not where everybody goes though.
what you're saying is very true about the people that like, oh yeah, I've been to the UP, I've been to St. Ignace, or we went to St. Ignace last weekend or whatever. It's like that. Let's not consider that. Sure, it's in the UP, but you need to experience more. And it's not
Real
us
St. Ignace,
making
yeah.
fun of like people doing that. Because sure, you could go to St. Ignace and have a good time, but if you really want to experience the UP, you need to fucking go west. You
Yeah.
need to go to St. Ignace. You need to go to McDonald's, see some guys with fucking 4 eyes or 3
Deliverance,
eyes.
dude. Deliverance. I
Yep.
remember.
Stop at
Four
that
ears.
gift shop, get a Mater's flashlight from the gift shop.
And then
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
head west.
Yep. The one thing I've said this before, and I think it sums up St. Ignace. St. Ignace is the DMZ, the demilitarized zone between Yoopers and trolls.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, trolls are people that live under the bridge, so anybody in the Lower Peninsula. But it's
Suck it.
literally like everybody kind of like, you know, you'll be in a gas station and you'll see somebody with like a Central Michigan University sweatshirt, and you're like, okay,
You lost, boy.
you're from around here,
You
got
lost, boy.
soft hands, brother.
Now
You
you're-
got soft hands.
but now you're going beneath the bridge.
Never worked a goddamn day in your life.
85 hours a week.
85 hours. I remember my first job.
Yeah.
Brother, I was up at 4:30.
I was up yesterday.
Yeah, I was up yesterday, dude.
That fucking video you said.
One of the greatest video
Oh my
memes of
gosh.
our time.
It's so true though. People like to brag so much about how much they work. It's like,
I
good
ignore
for
my
you,
wife
man.
and
Guess
kids
what? You
every
have
night.
a terrible fucking marriage. Yeah, your
Yeah.
kids hate you.
Sick.
You got a lot of money. That's all you got going for you right now, buddy.
You got a lot
Poor
of money, and you
things.
have a $1,000 a month truck payment because you have a
right.
a Dodge fucking Ram 5000. It's got eight tires on it. You got 4 rows of dualies on the back. 4
There's
rows of
There's something to be said about trade-offs, like to balance like how much you like work and how much you want to be in the picture. Like especially for me as like a family guy. It seems today that, but I don't know. Like I worked overtime a lot this last week because I wanted to get some extra scratch for my daughter's birthday party, and at the end of it, you're like, "Fuck, it wasn't even worth it." Like
Yeah.
I'm home at 7:30. I missed a shit ton of time with my family, and I'm just gonna get taxed even harder on my fucking paycheck, anyways.
Yeah, I know overtime's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, oh yeah, I should have like an extra $300, and they're like, wow,
$58.
Hold on,
$15.
We need a general.
I watched that episode the other day.
about tree fit.
Boo-boos, eh? So one town that did not make any of our lists for good reason was Amasa.
Where the hell's that?
Amasa is near Crystal Falls, actually. We talked about Crystal Falls earlier, but of course, if you're into sports and if you're into basketball, you know that the March Madness tournament is going on right now. Shout out to Michigan State. Go green, go white. You
March
might be
Sadness.
listening to this and they may have just lost to Kansas State, but Amasa, Michigan. So if you watch the March Madness tournament any game, doesn't matter what round, if it's the first round, the championship game, you are looking at the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
You're looking at some hardwood.
All of the courts that are used for the March Madness tournament, actually all of them since 2006, all the hardwood on the floors are made at a sawmill in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Oh
Your
yeah.
fun fact of the day.
Yeah.
AMSA. So Michigan State this is from MLive. Michigan State might be the only college basketball team from Michigan participating, but a part of the state will be ever present during the 2023 NCAA tournament. That's because Connor Sports, a production mill in the small Upper Peninsula town of AMSA, once again has provided new, made in Michigan custom hardwood courts for the tournament. The mill in the town of about 300 people in Iron County has been the official court supplier of the NCAA since 2006.
That's a lot of hardwood.
That's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
So the Final Four court, specifically, is made from first grade northern hard maple, and engineers used 381 panels weighing 160 pounds each, 56,000 pounds in total. They also supply the floor for the women's Final Four, and that surface was made using 262 panels weighing 145 pounds each at 37,300 pounds in total.
Made out of foam.
And some other interesting stats is that 357 cans of Grizzly Wintergreen were consumed. 4,000 cartons, not packs, cartons of Marlboro Red cigarettes were smoked. There were 3,433 Da Bomb gas station burritos consumed.
Oh my God.
And there were about 10,496 bottles of Mountain Dew drank.
Oh,
Code Red.
We're not even getting into the drugs here.
I thought you were gonna say cases of Busch Light.
The fellas in high
honorable mention
vis
is-
like the Code Red.
one more honorable mention. I hate to say it, but no, I'm just talking about the town, right? Like I'm not talking about like what's on the outside of the town, okay? Like what's around it. But White Pine's pretty big shit.
White Pine.
Oh, yeah.
White Pine. Bring in the
White
pine,
Pine.
hey?
Old mining town, yeah.
Like
Cookie cutter
I
houses.
mean, obviously, probably used to be, back in the mining days, a great fucking, great town. Probably a lot of people live there, but now it's just like
Mhm.
it's kind of creepy sometimes because it's so fucking abandoned.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and all of the so I have a actually interesting take on that. So my
The whole mall shut down. Like, there's nothing there. Like,
both my
no
grandparents
cell phone reception. Like,
Tika.
both my grandparents on my mom's side lived there, and my grandma still lives there, but my grandpa moved away because all of his friends who are his neighbors died, so now he lives in Ontonagon. But those houses just were like, you could buy a house. I think the cheapest house as of like 2000, let's say 18, I think, was like $9,000. You could buy one of those houses for.
yeah, dude, you
And-
can buy
and it's-
one for dirt cheap.
And one of those, and so now there's a lot of random kind of skids from nowhere that maybe have a few drug charges, got out of
Mhm.
prison. They
That's why
moved
it's
out there because the housing is so cheap. There's a lot of snowmobilers that have just bought. Last time I was there, this was December. Drove through there because we went and ate at the Contica with my grandma, and it was just kind of everybody from everywhere, kind of hodgepodged, and there's nothing really going around. There's not a lot of business. There's virtually no businesses in the town.
There's
none.
no
You
pot
but you
shop
drive
there?
through and there's just nobody doing anything. There's nobody out
No.
even shoveling their driveway. It's just like, yes, there's cars in the driveway, but it's just dead silence. It's a very quiet town. I would say like Ontonagon, you can kind of hear the traffic on the main street or whatever. But man, in the winter in White Pine, it is very desolate, and there's a gazillion houses. There's a bunch of and they're not overly spread out. Like there's
No.
tons of little neighborhoods and this, that, and the other, but it's just dead silence, and it's
Mhm.
full of people. I wonder
What do you-
what the population of White Pine is, because there's a lot of people that live there. I would say probably, let's go with like 300 to 500, but they're all very close together. I know
Yeah.
Ontonagon's population was like less than 1,500. I don't know if it's boomed up now, but that's an old stat from 10 years ago or so.
But what makes like? Do you think it's just because like we grew up in Ontonagon? But what makes Ontonagon not make the list?
Oh, here
What
we
do you
go.
guys think?
So I would say the lake for one.
Yeah.
Its location definitely would make it not on the list.
The
I agree.
neighborhoods
think-
are nice.
I think the crime and the drugs, sure, the drugs like at times can be pretty bad, but in the last like 5 to 10 years, I feel like maybe not 10, 10's a long time, but in the last 5 at least, going back to like 2017, 2018, I haven't
Mhm.
really heard of much like I've seen a lot of Houghton, Baraga, other
Mhm.
places having like big drug busts. But as far as Ontonagon, there haven't really been like too many crazy like drug busts or
And when you hear about those drug busts, you're like, oh yeah, he was for sure on some shit. Like
Yeah,
it's
and
just like
everybody knows who's doing drugs in Ontonagon.
everybody is aware of who's
Yeah.
kind of in that scene. You can't hide much in Ontonagon, I feel like.
Yeah. I'll tell you why. Like, if it were up to me and I could find a job in Ontonagon, we would live there right now.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's got a good school. It's not big. There's not a lot of people. There's not a lot of attendance, but it's good. You know all the people who work there.
Yep.
I would say the cost of living is probably a little bit higher there. There's only one grocery store, much like Manistee.
I think that's probably the worst part.
And
Oh, dude,
I mean, the
that-
neighborhoods, like if you look at the property value and where everybody lives, there's not a lot of shitholes either. I mean, there's shitholes
Yep.
and they're out in the country and they're out in the woods. There's a lot of fucking dumps, but you're talking in town and stuff. I mean, it's a nice area.
Yeah, it really is. Like you said, the neighborhoods are actually like pretty nice. And one thing
Yeah.
that I will say about Ontonagon is like Molly, when she never really experienced Ontonagon before. Like she went to the school like for basketball games and stuff. But when we first started dating and like I would bring her to like my parents' house, like driving, like, going downtown and taking that right down Houghton Street.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's a
love
part
it.
of Ontonagon that no one ever knows if you're not
Yeah.
from the area or don't like like those neighborhoods in that area. Like for one, it's actually a lot bigger than you think. All those
Yeah.
neighborhoods, all those streets.
It's
But
pretty.
like you said, Chris, like the houses, like in that section, sure you might be able to pick out like a couple shitholes, but for the most part, all those houses are really nice.
Amygdaloid Street, there's a little bit of
A little riffraff going on
yeah,
there.
but like I don't know. Like right where my grandma lives on Houghton, like that vicinity.
Yeah.
Like that.
And I
like,
do
don't know.
think as far as things being there as far as like businesses,
It's the biggest downfall.
it's shitty. Yeah, it's very
Mhm.
shitty. Not having a Walmart, not having any fast food. Although fast food's not great for you, but it's like that's a good option for people that don't want to cook something. Like there's a couple restaurants and stuff that you can go to, but of course, when you only have those couple, it gets old after a while. There has been some new businesses kind of popping up the last couple years, but I
St.
think
Vinny's?
location and I don't know, like Chris was saying, there's not a lot of shitholes.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is that Ontonagon is not a place that it's doable in a day, right? Everything is centrally located on the downtown, like everything. Yes, there are little dumpy little shops and this, that, and the other, but there's a lot of great things in those shops, and there's a lot of effort that is put into the community by those people. The people that just bought the shitty little motel at the end of the street, they're trying to be
Griswold's.
active
Yep.
members of the community, and they're trying to progress things and get them back to what they were, even on a small scale level, right? Ontonagon could have a major resort put in by the shipyard property. They could level that and put a big, a big, huge, massive hotel with
Yacht
like
Haven, dude.
jet ski rentals
Mhm.
and have like an infinity pool looking out over the lake for the summertime and really make all their money. then obviously, snowmobilers would come through. I mean, maybe not with the winters that we've had recently, but it's a quaint little town.
I think the biggest thing. Oh, sorry.
And you do have to have some sort of like you do have to have some creativity when you go there, but
sure.
I feel like it's a place that fosters creativity and fosters, there's still stuff. They had music in the park going on, there's the Porky's Music Fest, that there's, Ontonagon. Yes, it's in like Carp Lake Township. That's where the festival happens, but
Dude,
a
and the
lot of people
fishing and the
stay
camping.
Yeah.
fishing, camping.
I think the lake you're gonna find some of the best fucking beaches in Michigan on that
not
stretch.
crowded in any way.
No.
There's
Oh, yeah.
miles of beach.
Only
That's all
flies.
public.
Only
Yeah.
flies.
There's not even, dude. There's some. You go to some beaches, they're not flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on the wind direction, of course.
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
Depends if you bury yourself in the sand.
but yeah.
That's like one of the downfalls is, I mean, just being the UP in general, but like more specifically like Ontonagon. Like I feel like a lot of people probably don't want to take the risk and like put a big business there just because it's gonna take so much money to like get resources up there like for their
Mhm.
business. Because like they, like they don't,
Yeah, railroad, no more trains.
there's no more railroad. There's no more like, I mean, like you'd have to either take it in by boat or drive it up there, which is like
Yeah.
obviously probably pretty fucking expensive. So
I think we've also got a big, I think, us four, we probably got a pretty good idea. I've got a lot of friends that are like, oh, you need to take me up there. You need to, take me to these places that I hear all these stories about on the podcast, or just me and, talking to them in person. But I think what we need to do is put our heads together, and submit something to the Ontonagon County Chamber of Commerce and give a true tourism guide from relatively young locals that have kind of boiled down what you can do per time of year. Obviously summer and fall are probably the best time. Spring's a wash, and winter, good luck. But I'm also not a big fan of winter sports, so I put an asterisk next to that
Winter
one.
can lick me, dude.
But I do think that we've got all these things that we've come up with, and all these things that we've done growing up. I think we're probably a good ambassador of what tourism should look like. It's like go to Roxy's, get this burger, forget that burger. Go to the Stubbs and go check out. I still think the Stubbs scavenger hunt should be a thing. I think Stubbs is really, they're already a tourism destination. They've already been in the Detroit Free Press, but with that publicity, they need to. That's just the intro. They need to do like a virtual scavenger hunt, or an in-person scavenger hunt, and have people walk around that bar, go spend their money, that sort of thing. And I don't think there's anybody that's really pushing for that thing in a creative way in Ontonagon. I could be wrong. I'm obviously removed from that situation, but there's definitely a lot more if you just kind of look a little bit harder. And it doesn't always need to be self-discovery. It can be something that a guide. And I think if we did a guide to Ontonagon, that would be really cool.
That would be pretty sweet. I have a
Make a
video.
map.
I have a video to show. This is definitely going to be a shout out to YouTube if you aren't from the UP.
Just got video and audio rolling.
Yeah, we're not gonna. There's the audio is just like.
Okay.
But I just wanted to show people again the kind of like the reason why we wouldn't put this on the Shithole, because it's fucking absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
This is like the Ontonagon River right here. It's the pier. Talking about
Some of the
those-
best fucking fishing in the world right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, talking about the beaches. I mean, look at that shit. This is the shipyard building that Aaron was talking about, where you could put a nice resort. And that, I mean, from this angle, of course, none of us have been looking at the town from this angle before. That literally would be
Yeah.
perfect.
Put your cursor on that left pier, on the pier that everybody goes out on, the middle of the pier, dead center. That's the fifth ladder. Somewhere, I think it's a little bit, there's a high black dot. That is one of the best places for not only smallmouth in the summer, but also there's a rock that's very like protruding into the sky. It's a great platform to dive off of.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
But disclaimer, swim at your own risk.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
come
look
up
at
the
that's so
river.
cool how you can see where the river comes out and there's a clear water on the other side.
There's a lighthouse on the right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you remember the Bruce Johansson episode, this is the lighthouse
This
that
is
he
a
was
bad-
talking about.
And those big black spots are where they used to keep piles of coal for the paper mill.
And this
Wow.
was taken.
Ontonagon looks so pretty right there.
I know, I've never seen this before. I just looked it up just to see like if I could get something, but this was taken 2021, so this is very recent.
Yeah.
And something
Shit.
about Ontonagon in the sun, like there is nothing
Yes, the
better.
summer is just incredible.
Yeah, and for the listeners that haven't been, wow, that sunset. For the listeners that
Look at the
don't know where we're at or what we're talking about. Oh, this is just all the harbor. Michigan summers are vary widely because it's a rather large state, but in the UP, you can expect sunny and 75 for some of the best parts of the summer. It does get very humid, and you get into your 80 and 90-degree days on a whim. Those are pretty brutal in terms of the humidity, but you can always jump in the lake. I think the best part about the mild summer is that you can be in a short sleeve shirt and shorts, and if the wind's not blowing hard, it's comfortable and it's sunny, and it's just you're not sweating to death. Fish are biting. It's everything's green.
I love those docks they put in there. And
Yeah.
for the listener, for the watcher, this is a very different view of Ontonagon. This is, I mean, what, maybe 10 years ago, Ontonagon used to be much more industrialized with the paper mill.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
it was import and export of paper. There was a different bridge that was in town. The whole road, like the whole logistical system was completely different. And then they shut down the mill, scrapped it, and they got rid of the bridge that goes over.
Throw your cursor over where the old bridge used to be.
If you remember the movie Cars, the town that, of course, Lightning McQueen ended up in,
Rusty Springs.
They made the freeway, on the outside of the town, and it used to run through that little town in cars, so it would bring a lot of traffic. Well, I always thought it was funny because it's literally the same fucking thing with Ontonagon. So as you see on this video, this was a bridge that they built, I think, in like 2008, right?
Yeah,
was it around there?
Yep.
And if you see my cursor right here, that used to be where the old bridge used to be. So
one of the oldest swing bridges
yes,
in the world.
The only.
And it was
left.
Great for Ontonagon because, of course, if you know the area, the Porcupine Mountains is a very highly attracted place to go in the summer. People would have to actually go through downtown Ontonagon to get to the Porkies if they were coming from like the east end of the UP. Now they have this bridge, so they can just fucking pass it and they don't have to go in downtown. So that's kind of unfortunate. But this part of the video,
similar to St. Ignace, they had to put all those businesses there.
Yeah.
And because nobody wanted to go downtown.
This is like the downtown of Ontonagon. This is a sick fucking shot right here.
Dude,
this is fucking badass.
You can see the greatest hardware store of all time. Right there.
Yep.
Fucking Ace Hardware is that hardware store. Is it an Ace? No, it's
it's Ace.
You save turned into Ace.
Yeah,
Oh
yep.
God.
It's Ace Hardware now. But this is fucking Stubbs, dude.
You can see the light.
See the light. Yeah.
All of the light. The slough too. That's a good shot. Not
yeah,
the
it
slough
is.
Yeah, I love the
sleeper
slough.
hit.
It is.
Supposedly
that is a nice little hit or a nice little shot.
I think Bruce talked about how there is a vintage, or it's like a replica of a Civil War cannon. They made mini replicas. Or there's some weird story, and it's supposedly sunk in the slough, and they've dredged it, and they've had underwater metal detectors to try and find that thing, and supposedly it's still in there. That'd be something on the podcast. Go out there and find that thing.
Go magnet fishing.
The first true YouTube video. That'd be
I
fucking
watched a
sick.
kid catch like a 36-inch pike just across the street where the old bridge was in the slough as I was working at Sip and Snack.
Do yourself a favor.
Dropping a worm.
Fucking go to Ontonagon in the summer. Wherever you stay at Griswold's. I don't know. Just get out, walk downtown, and just fucking walk around. Get ice cream, go to the beach. It's the best thing you can do. Ontonagon evening right before the sun sets.
Is the Ontonagon Beach Boy video on there?
I was gonna say, is that what it was called?
Type in Ontonagon.
That would be a really
Beach Boy.
good. That would be a really good.
Bonanza Falls. Look at that.
That would be a really good video to show, just to show what Ontonagon used to look like how it was fucking booming. So if you saw that last video, there was like nobody in the downtown area.
Look at this little metropolis.
It's fucking wild to look back.
What year is that, dude?
87, I think.
Dude, that
79.
79. Yeah,
my grandma and grandpa still lived in the same house.
The sicko is still a sicko.
Yeah, that's the same sign.
Sills too.
Yeah.
See that? Sills.
Yep.
Sip
Dry
and snack.
dock.
He's going to
The
sip
dry
and
dock.
snack. He doesn't need to go to sip and snack.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at all those fucking square body
Dip
trucks.
Top Days was the name of it. Dip Top Days, dude.
All right.
Look at
Look at them shorts.
Look at
A
those
lot of
shorts.
crank. Lot of crank in them shorts.
This dude's just weaned out. Holy crap. Look at how there's not a lot of beach there.
No. That is, I mean, it's
Oh, that's all right.
Some spots that's going down to the pier. Look at that. Before they put the chain link fence up.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's crazy. That's it.
Nuts, man.
It's wild. I
That's
like this
just-
little Ontonagon/UP shitholes to non-shitholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing about Onondaga is just like it doesn't have a lot, but it has like the aesthetics of like a really nice fucking town.
Mm-hmm.
And then the summer, obviously, like the tourism really kind of like picks everything up, and it has a lot more life in the summertime. In the wintertime, that place is pretty brutal. Like, it can be
Yeah,
really
it
beautiful
is.
in the wintertime.
I
But
mean, honestly, like the all class reunion, the first one that I went to was like a year after I graduated or a couple years after. I was old enough to drink. Man, that looks like Mardi Gras, like in New Orleans. It's
Yeah.
just chaos. I mean,
bet it was.
so go on an all class
Especially
reunion here,
non-COVID.
contact a local, find when the all class reunion is, go to Ontonagon then, or go to a Labor Day. 4th of July is lame. Remember when they used to do the River Fest?
yeah,
Yeah.
River Fest was huge.
yeah.
That was awesome. They
I
dredged
remember they used to do helicopter tours.
Yeah. Was your dad part of those?
No,
Was like all private thing?
yeah,
But yeah, they man, there's a few good times. They used to have Travis Pastrana had a rally race through the UP. It didn't. I don't think it came through Ontonagon, but
It was
no,
up in
there's
Houghton.
there's a professional track in the QNAW.
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, they do the
Like
dog.
a-
Do they
It's
still
like
do the
it's like on the circuit. Like they still go up there every year. Yeah,
really still to this day?
Yeah.
Damn.
They didn't do it this year because there was no snow.
Yeah.
Did they do that? They still do the Marquette like dog sled race?
No, that was what Chris was saying. They canceled it this year for the first time ever because there was not enough snow.
Yeah.
And there was snow, but it was too icy because the
Yeah.
dogs
Thanks,
need
Biden.
to,
Mhm.
they need to have like fresh powder and stuff, and they need to be able to eat the snow for the water, and it was just all like iced over. And we didn't
They
have,
used to
like-
have in what was it? Was it Sean White? Was a promoter of it, or the Boom Boom Huck Jam they used to do in Houghton, downtown Houghton? They used to have like a.
Jib Jam.
Is that what it was?
Yep,
they
Jibba
did
Jam.
that. Yeah, they did that this
They
year.
did that this year.
They
Yeah.
did really okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
For the first time in like 3 years.
And this isn't just Ontonagon, obviously, but yeah, a lot of cool stuff that goes on, and not just cool to us, but it's a destination for weird.
Well, I mean, they got cruise ships going through here now, so
Yeah,
it's got to be.
that'd be weird being in
on the
Ontonagon and watch a
uprise.
cruise
Yeah, if you can
ship going
fucking
by.
afford it.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
$7,000.
17 grand to go on a fucking Great Lakes cruise ship.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It might
Did
be
a thing.
might be the new thing though. If a bunch of people start jumping on, because you can go on like a Royal Caribbean cruise for like $700,
Yeah, I
all
know.
inclusive,
I know.
booze
Well, it's 'cause
until
they
you
have,
black
like,
out.
fucking
Disease, get
thousands
killed
of
on the
people
boat.
on there.
Yeah,
Right.
but
They
I
can
mean,
afford to charge cheaper prices because there's so many fucking people buying them.
I don't think I'll ever go on a cruise, regardless of the situation. It
I
just
just wanna-
seems
I just get worried about being like woozy and shit, seasick. Of course, there's not many
If you're on a big boat, it doesn't really hit you like it would on a small boat.
out in the ocean. Apparently, it does. You can feel the thing list a little bit.
Well,
back
yeah,
and
if
forth.
you're in fucking some swells, yeah.
all of a sudden you're hitting fucking 25-foot swells just in a cruise ship. Just
So
you're on the ceiling.
Now, you're gonna be the next fucking song they sing about.
oh my gosh.
The Great Lake they call Get You Go Me.
Usually we start with national holidays, but I guess we can end on them today.
We already did it, didn't we?
I talked about how much we had, but I'm not
Oh.
going through all 50, obviously. So I guess I'll just pick the
Some mountaintops here. The
International Day of Forests.
forests.
Hello, hello.
It is. Oh my God, there's so many.
It's
There
an obscene
is
amount.
National Countdown Day.
Dude, get to the. It's
Come on,
national.
man.
It's National Twitter Day. Tuesday's
National
Twitter.
Flower Day.
Oh my gosh, dude, get out.
Okay,
of here.
huge.
National French Bread Day.
It's National Crunchy Taco Day.
National Crunchy Taco Day.
All right.
Yes, that is.
That's the one.
Have a taco on this Tuesday.
Yeah, stab your fucking
Wonder
top of your
why.
mouth with a tortilla shell.
Yeah,
You're a soft boy. You're a soft.
100%, bro.
100%.
I am
Crunchy
too.
tacos
No.
might be the most blasphemous.
Now, how
type
do you
of taco.
feel? How do you feel about like the like
Go on.
how do you feel
Aaron?
about a crunchy taco with the soft shell wrapped around it?
With
That's
cheese in
crunch?
between.
But
Gordita
still, like
crunch.
you're still. I'm not saying I don't like a hard shell taco. I just what you're talking about is a completely different like thing, right?
Sure.
Like you got the soft shell around it. It gets all crunchy, kind of gets a little
Still chewy.
soggy, you know.
That
The
texture.
hard
is
you
the
got
best.
like the part of the taco and this like you go to T-Bell, right? Like you're probably not going to get a very full taco. Like
Yeah.
you go to T-Bell and then you have like 1 inch of like just nothing being in the shell and it's just like empty.
And it all
Yeah.
falls out when you bite one
And then
end of
just
it.
like-
And if you
Yeah.
if you leave a Taco Bell hard shell taco in the bag for no longer than 30 seconds after they hand it to you, that
30
thing is a wet paper towel. It is just there's no
That's
crunch
true.
left in it.
That's true.
All the grease and whatever they fucking horse gypsy meat they threw in there is just just rots right through that shell and it's no longer crispy.
It's soaked through the bag, like it burns all the way to the seat. of the car.
Grease stains in your Honda Civic.
And if you eat it in your car, there will be cheese.
Yeah, cheese
Everywhere.
flakes and lettuce.
Fucking you're
Cheese
right.
and lettuce.
You have like, you know,
It's like
Yeah,
a Nature
I got
Valley bar. You open a Nature Valley bar, like that fluorescent green package.
Shrapnel, get down!
Yeah, it just peppers your whole environment with crumbs.
So we have a round. We have a round going right now. So we just gotta banter a little bit for 2.5 minutes. But Aaron talked about the last national holiday, the I guess in quotes important ones, not important, but National Twitter Day today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
download Twitter. Watch a live
Yeah.
leak video of somebody.
I just watched a cop smoke somebody during the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
So we got 1:55. Redneck Kino again. If you guys want a chance, I'm not saying if you participate this week that you will get a merch filled shirt or hat in the future, but maybe the more you participate, maybe we'll consider.
We
So
should
pick a number.
We should force them to do an email. If the
Actually-
listener really wants to get on Redneck Kino to put a number in and potentially win a t-shirt in the future, we're not starting this now. But when we do start it, you've got to email us. Let's go with the email. Downloading Twitter is too much. Everybody's got an email address. You have to email us.
Yep. And you know
Okay.
the rules: standard debit card number,
So
3-digit code on the back, social security card.
I am personally going with number 51, area 51 on this Redneck Kino. That's what I'm going for. We're a minute out. I'm going 51.
okay,
I'm
51
going
for
based
Aaron.
off. I'm going based off of making a run here. Go with my football number 50.
I
Okay.
like that.
50 was picked last time.
That's good.
Dylan?
Can I not pick it again?
No,
you're
you
good.
can.
Uh,
I won that one week when I repicked.
You doubled
one.
down? Really? Damn.
Yeah.
51.
Run
20.
it back, Turbo.
Number
20.
20.
All right,
Number
we're just going
20.
football numbers, huh? I'm gonna go
Yeah.
40.
Bing chilling.
Bean chili.
All right.
Football
Again,
number was too high to go. It was
Follow
like
us on Twitter if
86.
you have it. FAIF hour. Our email, if you want to participate for next week. Not guaranteeing you merch, but FAIF hour at gmail.com or outlook.com. We
Oh
do have
shit.
the two. So if
So
you have
20?
a Gmail,
20, 50, 51. And what was the last
Where?
one?
40.
40.
Got some big news for the the fucking
Oh,
Detroit Lions after this.
Oh,
Wait,
the
What?
Lions?
DB.
Big,
they
yeah,
signed?
big free agent sign. Safety.
What do they get? Where
Oh,
do
is it
where do you come
safety?
from?
Gardner Johnson from the Eagles.
Holy shit! Nice.
Pretty good. Pretty good pickup for him.
Well, they got rid of Jamal Williams, so
Yeah, I was going to say they yeeted.
Oh,
Oh,
shit, we're just going
53.
right into it. Goddamn, 53, 38, 79,
Number 3,
Three.
my lord.
41,
Number 3, my lord.
19,
Oh,
69.
69.
No
Come
one
on,
picked it.
nobody.
No one picked it. 57. 2.
Get
Come
out
on
of
here.
here.
Are you fucking kidding me? 68.
You be in love.
46. 1? Are you
What?
shitting me? 1, 2, and 3?
This is off the rails, dude.
27.
This fucking game gives me so much anxiety.
62, 75.
Oh
my
my
gosh.
God.
This is a weird. Oh,
51.
French.
Bonnie needs a bingo. Do it.
Do it. Do it. 77, 42, 12 was
Dude,
the
fuck
last.
this
Oh
game.
man.
Congratulations. No one won this
I
week.
win one,
Damn.
dude. 2 episodes ago, the 3 of you fuckers won and I lost.
Well,
Yeah.
there was no winner this week. We'll go next week.
You got to start putting weird stuff. Like I want Tony, I need you to bet, or Tony or Chris needs to bet like a can of Baronis on the fucking rig, or like a Jack's like homemade Polish sausage or something. I'll get something from GR, pack it and
Ship
you
it.
got to like bet those things.
That wouldn't be bad.
And then you have to review something, you like the food item from my, like if you win Redneck Kino, I got to send you something from GR. You got to review it on the air. Maybe we'll do that next time.
Aaron's just
I'll dig up
slinging
my
all the
shoebox
ideas.
of,
I don't know. I'm hot
flashlights.
tonight. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna do that. We're gonna do next Redneck Kino. We will do whoever wins has.
Or you give him something like really fucking gross to eat.
I don't want anybody barfing.
You
Chris
can't
and
bro-
I'll eat some pretty gross shit.
Or
This
like,
gotta drink this clam juice from fucking Pat's.
Like,
Oh
like
my gosh.
Tony, you could give him your Despicable Me Minions fleshlight.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Aaron's got to use it on air. Or on,
Such a.
shout out to the YouTube.
I'm sure, dude. It's gonna be a food item.
He's got to
you freaks.
review it.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. Despicable Me.
That's cold.
That is fucking hilarious.
So
Oh my
I gotta
God.
say is like the little eye of the minion. Is that never mind. All right. Is it
Episode
yellow?
44. Thanks for
Banana.
listening. We appreciate all of you.
Good luck coming up with the title for this one. Jeez Louise.
Fucking Despicable Me flashlight. Jesus.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour. Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour.
God damn it, Aaron. You're fucking
Go ahead.
delayed, dude. It's pissing me
Just
off.
restart the whole thing.
It's pissing
Just
me
restart
off.
the whole thing.
You're not talking, so I go to talk.
Get off.
And
Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour.
You got a tonsil stone, dude? Oh.
Dude, don't. He's not talking about this.
I ain't talking about it, dude. We ain't going to the
Fucking
stones.
Chris.
We ain't getting stoned tonight.
Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour.
Oh man, when you're 8 beers in and someone pulls out pickled eggs.
Yeah, forget it, dude. minimum a 6-pack of eggs.
Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour.
Cousin subs, which is so good.
Oh.
Which I don't know if they were started.
Out of you and Trout Crick.
Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour. Thanks for listening, you beautiful son of a